Dogma XM. The new Dogma XM 9.9 is the result of a strong desire to get out of traditional schemes and bring revolutionary ideas in the full suspension world. We consider ourselves pioneers, but with consciousness and experience arising from our history in road racing and some new staff in the Pinarello lab with unquestioned mountain biking experience. This new staff that looks to the future, oriented to innovation and new cutting-edge solutions. On Dogma XC and Dogma XM, we use the front system PINAFIT with fork stopper, a system that today none except us can be proud of. All MTB manufacturers build their own frames on the assumption that the fork should rotate 360 degrees. This forces them to stretch the main triangle, inevitably compromising its own natural stiffness, contrarily to that of road frames. With PINAFIT pushing on the pedals, you have the unbeatable feeling of riding a road bike. The front triangle has indeed overwhelming lateral stiffness because it is a perfect triangle. The fork stopper also protects frame and handlebars in case of falls, preventing their impact with the top tube. The seat clamp is our proven XPOWER, which ensures a more extended grip on the seat tube, reducing of about 50% the stress on a notoriously critical and stressed point. 4 screws lock down the seat post of the frame, making it as a single body. The central shock on the Dogma XM rests on our monolink asymmetric, light but sturdy, a true work of art of CNC, the indestructible core of the rear quadrilateral Onda Curve Asymmetric. Dogma XM uses the rod system that mounts the brake caliper on the left chainstay. This allows a more symmetrical and safe braking that does not affect the overall stability of the frame. ICR internal cable routing. All cables of Dogma XM pass internally. It also has an adjunctive hole for a possible adjustable seat post with remote control. Ours is not a phobia of symmetry, but the mathematical proof that the symmetric positioning of components in many cases makes little sense. The case of the central shock absorber is one of these. The right part of our frame is dedicated to the crank and the front derailleur, focal point of the traction of our bike where the forces are prevalent and where the weights are significantly unbalanced on the frame. The central shock on Dogma XM, thanks to our ASYM, does not directly touch the carbon frame, but it is indirectly connected to the bottom bracket thanks to an aluminum arm anchored with 8 bolts. This ensures less stress to the frame and further strengthens the bottom bracket. The central shock is not symmetrical to frame, but asymmetric to perfectly balance the right side of the frame where the crank and front derailleur work. This results in a perfect balance of the weights and volumes that will make your pedaling more symmetrical and balanced. Stiff as a road bike, suspended only when needed, without any remote control. This is the Onda Curve Asymmetric. The dream of every biker? It's obvious, to have a bike that dampens only if necessary. Until now, this was possible only by remote controls. Our rear quadrilateral Onda Curve Asymmetric changes all that because it is very firm on flat ground and it works only on uneven terrain. It is a unique combination of technologies. Most frames on the market today have about 6 points of rotation with bushings. This almost always takes place near the wheel or the bottom bracket. The 6th rotation point is always active, regardless of terrain, and therefore results in an inevitable weak point, a heavy point since there are bushings and screws, a point which requires constant maintenance and cleaning. All this no longer exists in Dogma XM. We have eliminated the weak point. Our rear stay Onda Curve Asymmetric has only 5 flex points, an extraordinary monocoque in which the kinematics functions thanks to its exclusive carbon flexible arm that makes the quadrilateral rigid on even grounds and flexible on uneven grounds. You can easily imagine the benefits of this. A stiffer and more reactive bike, active and absorbing only if clearly needed. A cutting-edge technology derived directly from the rocker arms of Formula One race cars, special materials and a particular layup of carbon that allows a precise and controlled flexion able to rotate our rear quadrilateral Onda Curve Asymmetric with extraordinary and infinite precision, just when you need it. Welcome to the new era of MTB, fully suspended.